Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I want to share my experience with endometriosis and the ovarian cyst that I was diagnosed a few months ago, and how I have started seeing results by working on the emotional root causes of it. So let's get started. A few months ago I was diagnosed with ovarian cyst and endometriosis, in which that when I get my period, I would have this severe period pain and period cramps, and also sometimes that comes with the vomiting, in which I would vomit for hours and I would go to the hospital to just stop this vomiting. And then one day it hit me and I was like, this is need to stop. And I know that my body is trying to tell me something and I need to listen to it and to know what are the messages my body is trying to tell me. And because I work with the emotions a lot, and because I am a Metahealth practitioner, which if you don't know, it's a science that links the physical illnesses with their emotional root causes. So I started searching on the emotional root causes of the endometriosis and ovarian cysts. And I started working on the emotional causes that are linked to these two issues. And I didn't see that result. Why? Because I wasn't like, I was looking at it at the surface level. I wasn't going deeper into the emotions. So one day I was like, has to stop, and I'm ready to see what the message my body is trying to tell me, and what are the emotions that cause these two issues. And then I learned that the ovarian cyst is more about like the cause of the emotional cause of the ovarian cyst. It's more about lacking support, in which that I didn't have support in my life. I used to do things by my own, and that was as a result of childhood traumas, in which that I didn't have enough support. I didn't get support in the smallest things. So for example, as a child, I was at the school and I had homework to do, but I didn't know how to do it. And when I asked for help, they would dismiss me, or they would say I don't know how to do it. So that led me to depending on myself fully. So this is where I started developing this kind of hyper independence characteristic in my personality, in which that I ingrained this belief that I don't need anyone. I can do it by myself. And I didn't have any issues until the last few months, in which that I entered the repair state. And when I started opening myself to receive support from others, that's where I entered the repair stage. If you don't know, let's go back to basics. So in Metahealth, when you are in this stress mode or in this stress stage, your body is focusing on surviving, not on repairing the damage that happened. But when you enter in the relaxing stage or the repair stage, the physical illness started to popping up. To be specific, last year, at the beginning of last year, I lowered down my guards, in which that I lowered down the walls, and I started receiving support from others. And that's when I entered the repair state or the relaxing state. And in that period of time, the symptoms started to coming up, in which that I started having severe pain and the vomiting and all that stuff. And at that stage, I was diagnosed with the ovarian cysts. So the idea being that because in the childhood I started developing this hyper independence mechanism to survive, but then last year I was no longer needing this mechanism, and that's why I started asking for help, and this is why the pain has started. And then when I started working on my emotions regarding the depending on myself and not depending on others, there are so many emotions came up in a way that I chose this mechanism because I felt powerless to ask for help, and I felt like left behind or abandoned, I would say, because there was no one to help me. And this is another emotional cause for the ovarian cyst, which is feeling abandoned and the lack of support. And the support can be in different way, in different aspects of lives. It could be like financial support, it could be emotional support, it could be physical support. So this is an invitation for you to reflect. When did the pain start, and what happened at that particular stage in regarding to the support that you had? It's most likely that during your childhood or early childhood you were depending on yourself, but then at some point in your life you started, or you changed your perspective in a way that you have started asking for help. You started asking for support from others, either financially, physically, or emotionally, or whatever kind of support that you needed back then. So this is an invitation to reflect when the pain started and what happened before that, and what was the mechanism that you used to operate with since childhood. And another reason is the loss. Maybe at some point in your life you lost someone close to you. For example, your child, for example, your parent, one of your parents, or both of them, I don't know, or maybe even a pet or a friend. So losing someone is another emotional root cause of the ovarian cyst. So this is an invitation to reflect on where are you abandoned in your life, where do you lack support, and when did you lose someone close to you? Because these three elements will help you to kind of lessen and heal and start healing and processing the emotions that cause the ovarian cysts. So ask yourself, what happened before I started experiencing this pain? There has something happened to you. Either you have experienced something, or you have let go something, which led you to enter the repair state, which led your body to start showing you the symptoms and the issues that your body was suppressing since childhood. So for me, this was one of the major emotions that I have worked on to overcome this ovarian cyst. And in terms of the endometriosis also, there are many reasons for it. There are many emotional root causes for it. And endometriosis, it's more about like the tissues are growing outside the uterus, which is not the normal, right? And the emotional root causes of it that I don't want to raise children in the environment that I grow in. And this happens mostly when you have a difficult childhood. So there was, like, for example, you lived in an abusive environment, for example, or chaotic or stressful environment, whatever kind of environment that you grew up in. And then you had this thought that I don't want to have children because I don't want to raise them in such environment. So this is the main emotional root cause for the endometriosis, that I don't want to have children because I don't want to raise them in this unstable environment. And another reason is that it's more about like feeling safe in your environment, and that you maybe sometimes you feel like you want to run from the household that you used to live in. You want to run to different city or different country or whatever, right? Because you are not happy in the environment that you grew up in. And this is another reason that you don't feel safe in the environment and you don't belong to the environment that you are in. So I want you to reflect on this emotional root causes and ask yourself, what do I think and what do I feel about having children? Do I want to have children, and why not? If the answer was no, why I don't want to have children? Is it because of the environment that I grew in, or is it because of the I feel afraid of raising children in such an environment? And then start processing those emotions and those fears, and also reflect on your belongings. Do you feel belong to the family and to the environment, even to the country that you were born? They are all related to the endometriosis, because uterus, it's more about feeling home. If there is anything disturb the peace in that home, there will be disruption and damages in the tissues or in the uterus in general. So ask yourself, growing up, how was it like? The environment that I grew up in during my childhood? Did I feel safe? Did I feel belong there? Did I feel nourished there or not? And then you take it from there. And of course, the healing, it's gonna be like in layers. So at first you're gonna experience the surface level emotions, that for example, I don't feel safe. And then once you release that layer, once you peel it off, another deeper fear will come up. And then once you process that fear, another, for example, shame will come up under beneath it, that I feel shamed of growing up in this environment, for example, or I feel shamed that I didn't do anything regarding this environment whatsoever. Each experience is going to be different to each one of us. So all in all, I want you to remember that your body is communicating with you, and this channel, it's all about telling the truth, my truth. And we are in this channel, we are not talking about surface level conversations or discussions. We're going deep into the to the root causes of the problems that we have. So if this resonates with you, I want you to reflect on the environment that you have that you grew up during your childhood, and what were your emotions towards that. And also regarding to the ovarian cysts, emotional root causes, it's recommended to work on the emotions regarding to your father. So what do you feel towards your father? And how was your father during your childhood? How did he treat you, right? So this is one of the layers that you're gonna work on when you work on the releasing the the emotional root causes of ovarian cyst. And when you work on the emotions regarding to the endometriosis, you're gonna work on your emotions toward your mom. See, they are both related to each other. So you're gonna work on the wounds, the father wounds and the mother wounds. How do you see your father, and how do you see your mother as and that will be based on the dynamic that you had during your childhood. Maybe you're gonna see her as a powerless, as a victim, as a weak person, your mother, and your father is the controlling one, is the angry person in the household, and that developed so many emotions and so many beliefs around the woman or feminine part of you and the masculine part of you. So yeah, so at the end of the day, I invite you to reflect on the support, on the safety. Did you feel safe in your during your childhood, in the environment that you grow in, the belonging, and if you were abandoned? It doesn't depend how little you were abandoned, like how small the event was. Maybe it could be that you felt abandoned because your mother left you because she wants to go to the grocery shop and she left you at home and you felt abandoned. So I want you to reflect on what abandoned means to you, and what were the events and the situations you felt abandoned during your childhood. And if you don't remember what happened during childhood, reflect on your adulthood, or nowadays, like these days. Where do you feel abandoned? Is it when your friend didn't reply to your text, you feel abandoned? Or if they didn't invite you to a party, for example, you feel abandoned? And trace it back to the childhood, and you will get until you get to the root cause of the abandonment. And another thing that you need to work on is bringing child to this life. Are you afraid to have a child, for example? And why is that? Is it because you don't want to raise that child in the environment that you grow in, because it wasn't stable, it wasn't secure, it wasn't safe, right? So I'm gonna leave it there, and I want you to reflect on all these aspects, and let me know in the comment what resonates with you. Until next time, bye.